All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Revolutionary Girl Utena, episode 25. What happened over the last, cour? I can't quite remember.
Oh, don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weird.
We're headed to the next one, though.
Yep, that's
and
right.
This is probably the final one.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we do another Nanami recap, or maybe just Nanami-focused one in general.
It was a recap episode, so it doesn't count for the Nanami quota.
I mean,
none
of the Nanami stuff matters anyway, right? So...
You shut your damn mouth.
Nana of the Nanami.
Keep Nanami's name
out your fucking mouth. No, we love Nanami in this house.
Yes, we do.
We absolutely appreciate Nanami.
Yes.
But I would not be surprised if we get at least two. In this episode.
Although at the same time, this would be the episode that sets up, the final act, presumably, of the story. So, I would be understanding if it wasn't a Nanami episode. It totally could be.
I would be grateful if it wasn't. I want Auntie! I want Auntie!
Yes! Auntie would be fantastic.
And so does Akio.
Why did you have to bring that up?
Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Cool looking car.
Yeah. Otori.
Ah, Zakio. Oh, these two together. Wait a minute. If it's a Toga episode, we might be getting Auntie and Nanami.
Our eternal apocalypse.
Okay.
Oh, well, alright, time to bust out the notebook. Wakaba!
Hey!
Hey!
Great to have you.
I'm jealous.
With Auntie just right there.
Ah.
Okay.
I am free.
Yep. You escaped.
Huh. Oh, that was an awkward look from Auntie there. Did you see that?
No.
Oh my god.
But that scares me.
Hey! Guess who's back? Back again. Wait, baseball?
What?
That's a baseball!
Yeah.
Okay. He ran all the way home? Easy catch. Yep. Oh, I like this. Ground out. Yep.
Does he not like how close Auntie is to Utena, and so he's trying to split them somehow?
Oh. 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 Well. Hi.
I hate him so much.
I cannot stand. Ugh.
し君に何か困ったこと
Oh.
まず僕に話してよ。何でも助け合おうよ。
Anything?
And this is the first episode of this part.
わかりました。これからはあなたと助け合って生きていきます。
Hmm.
ウテナ様。私、本当は何？いえ。
Damn it.
Oh
Damn
my
it.
god.
Damn it.
But that was close.
That was really close, yeah.
You really? That's pretty rich.
Mm-hmm.
合わせたい人ほら聞こえないか何がだ君の魂が本当に諦めていなければ世界の果てを駆け巡るこの音が聞こえるはずだ何をバカなこと
Whoa.
You're absolutely correct.
なんだ何なんださあ我らと共にいざなおう君が望む世界へ
How did you get that car into a dojo? Also, I just cleaned this floor.
Sanji would absolutely be the person to scuff up Akio's car with like a training sword or something.
大鳥の娘と婚約したっていう理事長ですねそう
We are the club of men with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
バラの花嫁が欲しいかどういう意味だ言葉通りさ昔棺に入っていた女の子のこと覚えてるかそんなこともあったかな
Oh.
永遠のものを見たいと言っていた女の子がいただろあの夜あの女の子を棺の中から救い出したのはこの秋代さんなんだ何あの女の子は秋代さんに永遠のものを見せられて救われたのさ
Yeah.
なんだとあんた一体何者なんだ世界の果てを見せてあげよう君にもねあんたまさか
Oh, wait, what? He's got style.
Okay.
柱を中心に螺旋状になってましたよね。その柱の中にゴンドラのようなものがあるんです。ゴンドラ？
Huh.
Okay.
そのゴンドラは世界の果てに羽ばたく翼だ僕とバラの花嫁をあの永遠の城に運んでくれる
サイオンジ、あなたはもう決闘はしないのです。
Well, I'm back.
Yep.
Yep.
昨日までの僕とは違う
Hmm.
I've been changed.
Hey, you tanked it for Anthi.
Hey. Yeah.
大丈夫か？
These hands are ready to eat for everyone. Well.
バラの花嫁は僕のものだ
Damn.
姫宮を離せ、サイオンジ。頭。
Yeah, yeah. What's the news? What's the news?
裏の森でまた決闘があるんです。
In the
forest.
forest.
Oh, right, because that's
right,
where
right,
you get
yeah,
to.
ちょっとあんた、ゆうべ私のシャンプー勝手に使ったでしょ。
Unforgivable.
だって私の食べ方
Ah!
食べちゃったじゃない。
A grave sin.
前のだけどね。
Oh. Okay. Oh, God.
2-week-old pudding.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, this is different.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
starting
shit.
here. We're actually seeing how you get to the forest. What?
We're getting actual like details for the process.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
So that's how that always worked. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Gorgeous transformation sequence. All right, sure. That car is a stand user.
Ugh.
いい加減にしてもらいたいな、先輩。
Gets a sports car and everything goes to his head.
だって考えてみろよ。
バラの花嫁には意志なんてないんだって
Ha.
どうしても叩きのめさないとわからないようだから。
So they actually give him like maybe a piece of the truth
Maybe.
in order to manipulate him, and it's actually not anything direct. It's just
Right, because they lit. Okay.
okay.
僕はもうお前に負けた僕じゃない。なぜならそれは見たからだ。
Yeah.
そうだ。
何を見たって言うんだ。
世界をだ。
Whoa.
消えた。
Oh.
剣が消えた。
Well, Anthi, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's upset at the way she was with Akio.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
Gotcha.
getting back at her.
もし君に何か困ったことがあったら、まず僕
And
に
yet,
話してよ。
then there was that conversation. So maybe what happened with Akio is why she held back.
Huh.
なりたいんだ。歌子様。
Yeah, she slipped for a second there. The sword's gonna come back now. Oh.
Oh shit.
夢見よ。
Oh, never mind. No.
歌子様、一緒に。
Together?
All right. Yes. Wait, is the sword going to be drawn out of
Oh,
Utena?
a team.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Oh.
I love the
Yeah.
style of this.
All right. Power of Dios. Get fucking rinsed, man. You
Yeah.
came back. Just for that.
Even sent the car flying.
I think he got hit by the car is like the...
君はこのゲームを楽しんでいるか。
もちろん。
ならいいじゃないか。友達には優しくしてやれ。
悪い人だ。あなたは。
Damn.
Post nut clarity for them or something?
Yeah.
イオスの剣が出現しなかった。それでも決闘には勝った。いや、見事だったよ。
They don't think the sword appeared?
安心。来るんだ。
Oh boy.
ああ。
Where's Auntie?
な、夢見よ。
Yeah, I wonder what it could be. Oh god, the terrifying mask that
Yeah.
Choo Choo had.
Like, it's hilarious that he has a mask, but... Shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
new ED?
New ED. DNA, single helix.
But the first ED was so good. Huh.
Well, that was
That,
hey,
wow.
you know what? I think what this might be, Jacob, is just that we're actually ahead of the show a little bit. So the fact that Akio did that was kind of a like, yeah, we knew that was happening.
Right, but
But-
just in case you hadn't picked up on
Yeah,
it.
just in case. This episode felt like the, hey, have you been following the show thus far? We're going to very quickly touch upon every single kind of big thing.
Yep.
But then also give some added little bits of context by using Toga as the
Right.
delivery for this exposition.
Which-
Because he addressed the thing of like, hey, remember that girl you found in the coffin? Mm-hmm. Saionji also giving the very weird like,
Did that actually happen?
did
I
that
can't
happen? I don't fully...
remember.
Yeah, so there's this aspect of where we have obviously some fuzzy memories going on with a lot of the people here.
Yep.
But specifically the idea that there was an element of Saionji that came back with this rebellious like, no, fuck all of you.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to get
Yep.
what I want.
It's quite
And-
frankly the Saionji I was hoping would show up.
Well, yes. And then his hands for everyone kind of thing as well. But the, no. After a quick little drive with
Yep.
Akio and Toga, he's a
Old
different person.
Saionji's back.
Yeah. And specifically, this is another thing. He said he saw it. Like he
Yeah.
saw the world. Like he,
Right. Which is
that doesn't feel like he was manipulated then. It feels like they actually were like, no, we don't need to. We'll just show him a little piece of the truth.
yeah.
Boom, done. He does exactly what we want him to do.
Given the idea of time sort of standing still at the school, they could take that into some literal implications with regards to, like, if you see the outside world, holy shit, it's way different. You know, we didn't realize how long we'd been here or something like that.
Yeah.
But I would be surprised if that happened, given how the show is, in general, very, like, I don't know, esoteric. Maybe that's not the right word.
Well,
but-
yeah, it's esoteric, but it's absolutely leaning into the supernatural side of things.
Right.
It's just the question of when we get to the point where they start peeling back the layers of what's going on, is it all going to make sense? Or is it something where the themes will all tie in rather nicely with the overall vision of the story? Because right now what we have is Akio is taking advantage of a situation, but he has not reached his goal. He's trying to get at something eternal, and he is using, at the very least, Utena in order to do that.
Yep.
But he is more so, by extension, using the duels and
Right.
Anthi a little bit to make that happen. But the difference is that every time we look into the Anthi bag, we see that it's not so straightforward.
No.
There's a couple things about her that seem to be, one, complicit, and then also, kind of trapped. So
Yeah, very, very much trapped, and it's this weird thing where we had a lot of different layers of, like, jealousy, it seemed, in this episode.
yeah.
And not all of them make immediate sense to me. The idea of Anthi being jealous because Utena's hanging out with Akio, and so then she makes the sword go away for a bit before she then realizes, like, no, I don't want that.
I do actually want her to be friends with
Right.
her, yeah.
That's different than what I figured it was, in that it was the get the fuck away from her, Akio, right? Like
No, I think that's also part of it. I think that's also part of it, for sure.
right.
But the idea that she didn't directly, it seems, harm Akio in any way,
Nope.
but maybe she's testing a little bit of what she can do by taking the sword away and seeing how he reacts to it. Like, because I think he punished her
Because she
forcing
didn't-
himself on her because she messed with the sword.
Right. She played a rebellious Rose Bride.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he got upset with that.
he got upset with that.
Yeah.
So okay. All right.
Now, is that because she's more upset at Anthi, or is that more upset at Utena or Akio or both of them? Who's to say?
Right.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a there's a bit of a walking contradiction that Anthi is, and we have yet to fully see where she leans more so than others.
And that's who she's been over the course of this show, and that's one of the reasons she's so much fun to watch. And so this episode being kind of that reintroduction, since a lot of the things that we have had as mainstays for the show, we took a break from in the second part. And now that that's been wiped away, best to reestablish things. But at the same time, it didn't just feel like it was the establishing of the way things have been. It's also showcasing us the arc that is coming with regards, the arcs that are coming with regards to these elements. Because of the variations in the way that things are. Like,
well, also just the progression of the council, the student council, actually taking an active investigative role in understanding why these duels are going on. What's the nature of this school? What's the nature of this ascending place towards the site of the ritual or what
why
have
does
you.
Akio feel like he needs to specifically live with Anthi and Utena? Is it like, which one is he trying to keep close to the chest, right? Like, or both, you know, because keep your friends close and your enemies closer and all that.
Right.
And like, if that's the case, is that because it's something where he feels like he started to clue in onto the idea that Anthi wasn't entirely in his control?
Yeah.
Or is it because he's getting so close to the realization of his objective that he's now wanting to, you know, be
Also,
extra
yeah.
hands-on with things,
I
right?
think it's again, Akio's one of those wonderfully fucked up both kind of people. He's both trying to manipulate things and he's both getting excited because he's getting closer. And yet, because of Anthi's role in all of this, at some level she can probably, you know, cock block him a bit.
Sure.
And I am here for that. But the fact that Anthi didn't get slapped by Saionji here.
No.
She got
grabbed.
No, I'm talking about just the way in which Saionji wasn't the one abusing Anthi in this situation, this episode. It was Akio.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very much a from the decision to have this all within the same episode, there's a point that the creator is trying to bring up that Saionji's efforts, he's not the true antagonist. We're trying to very much make sure
not
that
even
everyone's...
Toga. Toga is
not even Toga.
Absolute small fry.
Toga is absolutely enamored by Akio, and probably because Akio showed him more than what they showed Saionji.
Mm-hmm.
Toga is very much in the...
He's a fanboy.
I'm a fan. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with how this is.
Especially with
evil boy.
Right, with how self-aggrandizing Toga is, it absolutely makes sense that if he saw someone who is even further along his own little, way of doing things than he is, he would absolutely idolize them.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
And also, Akio at the very least revealed that he's kinda the knight in Utena's past.
Yes.
Like, just straight up said it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's some twist there with regards to perception of things.
Right.
But no, Akio is Utena's knight. And your knight is SAing your best friend, That's just where we're at right now.
Yep.
Fucking hell. Like,
and on top of all of that, we were this close to Anthi actually telling Utena maybe what was going on.
Yeah, and now that's the crazy thing. Did you get the vibe that Anthi wasn't going to say something positive? Not that it's saying not like something that's happening towards Utena.
I did not get that
the
vibe.
The truth is, I don't want you to get anywhere near my brother.
Oh,
like something of I can't stand you.
That's not at all the vibe that I got, because I feel like with the things that Utena was saying and the way that Anthi was thinking about it, right? Like it felt like it was a genuine decision that she was in the middle of making that was relevant to what Utena was saying, rather than makes me think of something else. Get away from me, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I feel like the fact that she didn't say anything is
it tells us something.
Well, it's okay. Well, here's the way to think about it. Here's the way I think about it. Utena's doing something really sweet and vulnerable by being like, "Hey, come to me with anything you need.
Yep.
I'll be with you. I'll be beside you. I'll support you.
Right.
Every bit of it." And clearly that's where the story is going, is that these two are going to support each other, but also end up helping each other to have each other then save themselves, And
hence the duel being very poetic and beautiful, in addition to visually beautiful and all that stuff.
Right. But the idea that was Anthi's response to never mind it because of how kind Utena's words were, or was that the reason in which she was going to say something more vulnerable and sweet, but then her other side essentially was like, no, we can't say that.
Right. And
it's the idea that if Anthi knows the truth, if Anthi knows what's going on, that side of her that knows what's going on is what said, no, I have to keep the secret, basically.
Right. And that's something that I really appreciated about that scene, because, and God, this probably just goes to show that I've seen too many bad examples of this, where something like this is about to happen, the communication is about to be had, and we've been looking forward to it for so long, and then it doesn't happen, but not because of a decision of the characters, because of some environmental interruption that makes it so that then it doesn't happen. And I fucking hate when that happens, because then it takes away the agency from the characters, right?
I literally was going to say, something better not, Choo-Choo, you better shut the fuck up. I don't want
exactly. I don't want anything to interrupt this.
Right.
Because, no, instead, it's that Anthi is not ready to. That is absolutely wonderful and beautiful and so much better. Because now we know that it's this is where the story's going.
Right.
She was almost ready, but not quite. And so that's
5 to 10 to 12 episodes,
Right,
she
exactly.
will be ready.
That's going to be something that we have to look forward to because that's all that we need to figure out. There is no big environmental thing because there is absolutely like they would have the opportunity to have that kind of communication so long as Akio doesn't keep her every night.
Right.
You know, and so awesome. Now we can
Yeah.
just keep an eye out for how Anthi progresses as a person over the course of this arc.
So, did you also draw the connection of Utena said, "Oh yeah, Akio seems familiar to me," drawing the connection to the prince, right?
But,
But-
I didn't realize that, but yeah, that's a good point.
But then Anthi said, "Yeah, and sometimes you seem familiar to me, Utena."
wait.
Yeah.
Oh
Do
shit.
you see what I'm like cooking
Wait,
here?
hang on. No, I don't
If-
necessarily see what you're cooking, but
if
like
Utena feels that Akio is familiar, that's because she's remembering her prince,
prince.
you know.
Yeah.
But if Utena is familiar to Anthi, and
Well-
then she kind of goes, "Well, that's weird. You've never said anything like that before." I think that Anthi had a moment or something like that where Utena, because I believe this is one of the story's themes that they're setting up here, is the idea that Utena will be Anthi's knight at some point.
Right.
But it's the other thing of rather than just being her knight, it's that they will both be each other's knights.
Exactly. Hence
But-
the whole thing with the sword and all of that.
Right, and then the OP as well, them riding with the swords
Yes.
and the lances and stuff. But why is it that Anthi remembers or feels familiar?
Yeah, that
around
could you actually
Utena?
bring that scene up because
Yeah.
because
it's
I think
it's when they're in bed. That
Oh,
was
okay.
the scene. That's
'Cause
why I was like, I love that scene. I know.
I must have gotten sidetracked by some of the other things that were happening because there was a lot of stuff this episode, and I must have just missed that line because that is a very big line because up until now, talks
Yeah,
about the
he's
stars. He gets a lonely look in his eyes.
It's like he's lost something very precious. There's something about him that seems so familiar to me. There are times you seem very familiar to me as well, Miss Utena. I do? Yes. You don't usually say stuff like that. I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I'm glad you did.
Oh yeah, no, okay, so my brain auto-filled that in, not as familiar, but as precious. Because in my mind, this is one of the big things here. By Utena being brought with Anthi, it's not just that Anthi is being kept closer to Akio, but Utena is not just necessarily as a thing of I'm going to keep her from interfering with my plans, but
Right.
I have your loved one literally living under the same roof.
Yep, I can do
right?
whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want, and so do whatever I fucking say. Don't give me any lip. Don't do any of that rebellious, not making the sword appear kind of shit.
And she
right?
did it anyway.
Yeah, and she did it anyway. And so, like, but it's not that she was saying, "You're precious to me, Utena," right? Even though that's true, you sometimes seem familiar to me. Because my understanding of Anthi up until now is that she was one of the characters that had all the cards,
Yeah.
right? And because of the situation that she's in, she is not able to use them all.
Yep.
Right, exactly. And so that's where the story then progresses. That's where the conflict is.
Yep.
But if they're actually setting up the idea and setting up this late, that maybe she also got some like mind muckery shit or
just in the way in which this whole Rose Bride thing is set up, there's some things about Utena's connection to the Rose Bride that are bigger than just them as characters here. Like one of the things that's very, I would say, like important to kind of keep in context here is that Mamiya and Anthi, that's a whole thing that happened.
yeah, that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing that happened.
Yep.
There is a very real possibility that we're getting set up for something way more metaphorical and something way more symbolic than an actual like overt plot thing with Anthi.
Okay.
And Anthi might represent something more intangible than just being in addition to that her own character and stuff.
Well, one thing I will say, given the OP, it shows Mamiya there, essentially, it seems.
Well,
right? At
I
the
mean-
end when everything's crumbling away.
No, that's Dios.
Right.
see, that's-
yes.
that's-
no,
that's
right.
where-
that's
that's where things get
That's
funky.
the slumbering. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. That's where things get funky. Is the idea that if Anthi was Mamiya, you know. Whoa, what's Dios then?
Yeah, no, that's
You see what I'm saying? Like there's some funky, really crazy magical shit going on here
Which
that is
is
bigger than just the I'm a Rose Bride. It's like, no, you're something way bigger than that.
And
Anthe.
bigger also than Akio, which is the thing that was
right,
actually
'cause he's not eternal. He's trying to tap into eternity.
no, right, and he kind of has because of the whole thing that he did with the school. But like,
right.
But that's one of the things that I need to keep reminding myself of because of the idea that Akio and probably Anthe too, then by extension, have been here for so long.
Right.
There's a tendency for me to believe that Akio very much set up this entire game and is the one in absolute control. He's at the top. And yet he might not be.
He just might be an opportunist.
He's just real close, right?
Yeah.
With time and experience and the will to use it and all that stuff. He is at this point where he has attained a very high level of mastery.
Yeah, he's like a vampire.
Sure, yeah.
He's feeding off of everybody through his own kind of sick way, and yet he's not eternal. He's just immortal. He's
right. He did have a beginning.
He did have a beginning, but he is not timeless. He is not. He is not something locked in and primordial like whatever this school is touching or tapped into.
Right.
He is himself. He is himself. Lucifer. He's the one that wanted eternity. He's the one that wanted to
and now
attain
so he's
heaven.
the ruler of hell.
And now he's the ruler of hell. He looks up at heaven wishing to be there, but he himself is locked away in this
right. And I love
here.
I love the thematic
Dios
elements
as well. That's literally the divine power
of
being,
God.
being invoked. Yeah.
Right. So I do love the thematic elements that sets up, even if it's just for the sake of thematic elements and not necessarily
and relating to us as the viewers.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We can all kind of go, oh yeah, I get it.
Giving us an impression of what's going on here
without the
through
overt
parallel
details.
rather than exactly. It's being some plot mechanic thing because since you're dealing with fantastical stuff, how do you actually communicate that to an audience
without being very blunt and
like exposition and here's a rule book on this magic system, right? That's not
Utena style.
That's not that is very much not Utena style.
No.
And so using something like that, okay, that's a great way to do it. You can keep the fantasy up and the mystery up that way. But yeah, I don't know. Like familiar.
To me, the element of familiar, it feels like something where Anthe just kind of said it a little bit to kind of draw the connection between the two of them.
Sure.
But then Utena saying like, you've never said that. The first instinct she had was, sorry. Which to me sounds like something that someone who's been abused would say, which is the
oh sure,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I overspoke,
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I could see that being the case with regards to Anthe's response to Utena's response.
Right, but yeah.
But as I just got an idea as for what Anthe meant, not in like the I was also there when Akio gave you the ring or whatever, but the idea that maybe it's our bond is strong enough that I feel like I've known you a long time. You feel familiar to me in a way that maybe even my own brother doesn't, right? Because, it is not a positive copacetic relationship.
Right. And my thought with that is that gets into the whole idea of this being a bigger thing than them. And Utena is the true duelist. Utena is the one that's here to do the duels.
To revolutionize the world.
Right. So in that respect, she's more of a piece in the plot, but her character might extend beyond this. And in some ways that could be the way in which I saw there being this kind of vibe that Soji had an Utena connection. And that it's that, well, yeah, he did, but it was more the role in which they represented of kind of revolutionizing the world of their
rather than their
eras,
specific personality. Yeah.
Or even their, anything about them. Yeah.
Right.
So if Utena represents revolution, what does Anthe represent? Because in some ways, she's to be revolutioned then, right?
Well, right. She's the reason why the revolution needs to happen.
She's the one that's beset by the Dark Tower.
Yeah, exactly. The tyranny of the old world that must be thrown down. Yeah.
Yeah. And thus she represents, the best and worst things about classical femininity of being
Right.
docile and not doing anything here, but also potentially having this really powerful resentment towards
Right.
the abuser, but then two, the people that maybe perpetuate it by not invoking their revolution already, at this
Right.
point.
Well, and maybe that's one of the reasons, because like with the whole idea of Utena being the prince and all of that stuff, and Anthe being the stereotypical princess, the elements of the prince princess thing, that there are elements of it that are good, right? The problem is when it gets into the possessiveness kind of stuff, which is why I think Saionji is probably constantly brought back up, right? Because he is he's just the token that the show is using to embody that, right? And so then that needs to be defeated, that needs to be vanquished, and all that stuff. But you really do have a very dire situation with Anthe that she does need to be saved from. She has been doing all of this stuff within her own power to try and fix it. And while she, I would say, is making progress, there are limits. And so having, a blunt instrument like Utena that can come in and revolutionize the world, just smash it to pieces and stuff, that sounds pretty great.
Yeah. But I love the way they used Toga in this episode. I love the way they used Saionji. Akio was the most terrifying he's ever been.
He was all kinds of
really
creepy
ever
and
since
scary.
like episode 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah, when he was introduced.
When he was basically introduced, and then Anthe a couple times had some faces that made Akio get rather
What was the
pissy.
one? What was the one that you
that
brought up? Yeah, because I didn't
Yeah.
catch it. I noticed Akio being very like scary and stuff.
So
but
hold on. So he's like, I imposed on Utena to move here. He's like, you are such a nice brother. That's Wakaba. Yeah. Or wait, no.
no, it is Wakaba, and she's like, oh, I'm a good friend of Anthe's too, right?
Hold on, actually, is this Wakaba saying you are such a nice brother? In that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure because she wants to move here too.
Well, yeah, but
oh, that was Utena.
yeah, that was
Right.
Utena. Yeah. I was like, that
such a
doesn't-
nice brother, and then
Say,
Wakaba
then sure. Him and me. Let me get you more tea. And she kind of does that here, but then there's this part here. What? Something wrong? Nothing. But you can see
Utena's
here.
like nothing.
Look at the way. This is I think perfect drawing here. How does Anthe typically smile?
Closed eyes and lips pressed together.
And very lips pressed together.
Ah,
This is not a smile. This is trying to smile. But your
okay.
eyes, take a look at just the eyes.
No, yeah, the eyes are
the eyes are not saying happy. The eyes
sure, which is
have a
maybe
little
why
bit of
she
worry.
constantly closes her eyes when she smiles, because it's you'd be able to tell up here that's
These are not congruent.
Yeah.
But then if you look at just the mouth, that's not entirely a smile.
well,
That's a forced smile.
interesting. I thought you were gonna say that it's that maybe there might be that aspect of it that looks freer because it's open eyes, open lips, right? It's the just sort of like just sort of relaxed in this environment, and so then Akio's like, I don't like that.
No, I think Akio is just noticing the tension here. He's just able to sense that something's off with her. And you know what? I'm not acting straight. And then she immediately shifts into the look, I'm doing the cute feminine
Right.
girl thing.
Uh-huh.
And then he immediately
Then he gets
shifts
real
to this
pissed.
because I think what it is that he's realizing that she's being duplicitous with him. She's showing signs of the rebellion, basically.
Gotcha. Not the idea that, right, because what I was thinking you were implying is that it's she's showing ways in which she's not performing up to snuff, and so then it's I'm upset because you're failing me. But if it's something where it's he doesn't realize that she's been getting one over on him, and so then
She shifted back into character
right.
there.
And so then, because of this, then he gets close to Utena because it's this is my threat,
Yeah,
right?
uh-huh.
And so then that's why she's got the shiny glasses and all that stuff, right? Because she's livid,
Yes, she's absolutely infuriated.
right? And then when it comes time to the actual duel,
Yeah, so then when you get to the point where The duel happens.
Also, by the way, I just have to say the visuals from this episode were all sorts of on point. Like all the different like shots that we got that we haven't, seen thus far in the show, and the creative different ways that they explain how they get, up to there and have the transformation with their clothes and, all of those sorts of things. I was beside myself.
Yeah. I also got to say the hand holding.
Uh-huh.
This is some like lovers hand holding. Like,
Oh yeah.
I will not let you go. Like,
and it's the OP where it's they're close to being able to
Right.
grab hands and yet they
friends
can't.
like that. Yeah, exactly.
Roommates.
And they were roommates now.
Uh-huh.
But then she kind of snaps out of it and goes, wait, Utena-sama. And then she throws herself in the way.
Right. And the sword comes out of Utena this time.
Right. And then we see that face a little bit from Anthe here, the one that made you go, where she's kind of got those like slightly open eyes where it's almost like she's looking in Akio's direction right now.
Oh,
do you see
I like
me?
it.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see me what I'm doing,
Uh-huh.
brother?
Yeah.
Like I feel like her eyes are saying, brother, with that little bit of like spite in it.
Right. And if you think about it, this visual that was put on of like the transformation and the bringing out the sword and then both leaning back and then Utena holding her and all this stuff, it's absolutely beautiful,
Yes.
right? But if you think about it from the standpoint of in-universe, now granted you can only take that so far because there were a bunch of cars standing on end in the dueling arena, right? But that very much would seem to me the kind of thing where it's the I am chewing up the scenery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am performing, and I have an audience, and I'm
Right.
pretty sure it's not Saionji, right?
Yeah. But when the duel is over,
Mm-hmm.
they're in the observatory.
Yep.
Akio repeats himself twice. And he gets
Oh.
angrier each time he does it. He says the Sword of Dios did not appear twice. His tone changes in a little bit more of like an upset thing, and yet she still won the duel. Oh, it was magnificent. Come here, Anthe. And then she just kind of like flinches a little bit here, like she knows what's coming.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and then
Come here.
Yeah.
And like,
Oh.
like he's pissed.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a very nicely censored thank you very much scene. Like thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Now-
which in a lot of ways feels similar to the whole idea of like the yes, Anthe and Utena, good friends and roommates and all of that stuff, right? It's the we're not going to actually show the incest essay. Let's not do that. So there'll just be a silhouette there. It's enough.
And then, the Lucifer figure is a being of stars in the censoring just because, artistic expression. I
Sure.
thought that was very on the nose
Yeah,
and
nice.
funny.
Nice.
Yeah. But okay. This is a fun direction
Yep.
for the show.
When I realizing after the previous episode that it was going to be going, probably a bit more into like the status quo that we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting it to be this aggressive of an episode.
Yeah.
Given that like we got pretty used to and comfortable and familiar with the way that things used to be, right?
We did.
But nope, this is
We're
this is going
revolutionizing
places.
the world. Yep.
Yeah.
So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out my Persona 5 Roll Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.